Ladies and gentlemen, we are out and about in the good 2025 Polaris Slingshot. This is the Slingshot R. So you have several different models. You have the Slingshot S, you have the Slingshot SL, you have the SLR, and then you have this, the top of the line, the big dog on the food chain, the Slingshot R. This thing is powered by Polaris's Prostar 2-liter inline 4, busting out 204 horsepower and 150 pound-feet of torque. It is ran by a 5-speed manual transmission. They do have an auto as well. And this thing is fun, weighing in at roughly 1,750 pounds. I can't believe how much fun I've been having with this vehicle. It is, a lot of people come to me, they're like, D, man, what the heck is that? And I tell them it's a slingshot, and more specifically, it's considered an autocycle. And so what an autocycle is it's kind of that niche in between a car and a motorcycle. Now, be wary of that, because in different states, autocycles are treated very differently. Now, what did I mean by that? Well, in some states, you need to have a motorcycle license in order to operate this. Now, more often than not, in most states, autocycles, you can just have a driver's license and be good to go. So, I always say, check your local and state laws to see what this is classified as in the way of if you need a motorcycle license or not. So this thing is able to do 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, which is blazing fast, but not really. But it's not here to go super fast, so just need to know that. What you really need to know is how much fun that you will have in this vehicle, because this is probably the most fun you can have with your clothes on. 18s up front, wrapped in 225/40s. You have a 20-inch rim in the back. Once again, machine face 5-spoke. And that is wrapped in 305/30s. So you do need to have that wider wheel in the back, since this is only a 3-wheel vehicle. For me, myself, I could see myself in a slingshot for sure. However, that is only if I was living like maybe back home in San Diego, or if I lived down in sunny Florida, or if I lived maybe in Texas, maybe some of those southern states. This is a vehicle that I need to be in as much as I can, and it needs to be year round. I really need to be in a state to where I don't need to have a full face helmet on, because that is part of the fun of having an open cockpit vehicle that is just fun to drive, fun to be around, fun to be in. And people who, I mean, I'll say this, if you don't like to have attention brought on you, don't drive this, don't buy this, because all eyes are on you when you are in this thing, because people are normally trying to figure out what the hell it is. Now, let's talk about some of the features that's here on the inside, because of course this is where you're going to spend all your time mostly, is on the inside of this thing. So what is it like? Alright, so what I want to do is I want to go through just a few of, or actually all of my gripes dealing with this. Let's get the bad out the way first. First thing, Polaris, I need you guys to do is to fix this. What the hell is that? Polaris Eye is as aggressive as this thing is. I need y'all to fix it. I need y'all to make it to where it's a little bit more aggressive sounding, but that ain't it. That's probably my biggest gripe about this thing. Alright, so number 2 is visibility. So the visibility in the back, if you're trying to look back there by turning around, it's terrible. And that's because of the seat backings. You got the roll bar that's above both seats. And then you have this kind of hump that's right here, so that blocks it. But I will say, the 7-inch screen here, the rear view camera is good. And it gives you a wider field of view so that you can see behind you. Now, they always say do not rely on this to, have you, when you back up, don't just rely on this. However, it does do a really good job of seeing as wide as you can behind you. All right, so before I go any further really quick, I want to thank my peoples at the Brand Amp, Kelly and Chandler. They allowed me to take this and do a review on it, and I want to say thank you guys so very much. Let's talk about one of the other things that I need to bring attention to. Braking. Now, this isn't necessarily a knock, it's just something that you need to be aware of when braking. So, Brembo brakes. We all know that Brembo is some of the best brakes out there, and I'm happy to see that Polaris has Brembo brakes on them. Like I said, 4-piston up front, you got 1 piston in the back. So the issue is the stopping distance of this. I don't know if it's something with the calibration, but I've not been the only one that's talked about this. But you really need to get on the brake in order to bring this thing to a full stop. That is all the negative that I have to say about this. And it's not even bad. But like I said, I want to get that out the way because we're going to talk about the fun stuff. Alright, so let me first talk about the exterior. This freaking crazy aggressive front hood, front fascia. This thing looks so menacing, and this is actually a different front fascia than any of the other models. So this is a redesigned, fully color matched sport vented hood, and like it really has a presence when you're driving around. As I stated earlier, people who see this, they think you're driving the Batmobile, and with good reason, because this thing just looks crazy good. And it comes in this colorway that's called Nightfall. It's like a dark gray, and it just looks super stealthy, looks crazy aggressive. It comes with a special splitter on the bottom that is exclusive to the R. For this trim package, the R, it starts at $34,000 for the stick, which we have here, and for the auto, $37,000, and then it can just go up from there depending on how you outfit it. So another thing that I love about the hood, you heard me, I said it is a sport vented hood. If you take a look at the vents here on the side, I love to be able to look through the left and right fender and see the wheels. There's not a, well, I can't see it on the passenger side, but I can see it on the driver's side. It's pretty crazy driving, and you get to see the wheel just spinning through the front fender. Now, on the interior, this thing, since I've had it, it's rained a lot. This thing, you don't have to worry about it being out in the rain because it's made of durable materials throughout. The suspension on this thing is nice. You feel every bump, and that is only because you are so low to the ground. However, the suspension really does a good job of dampening those bumps. And then, of course, you do have these nice, comfortable seats that assist with that. Now, when you do put it in Slingshot mode, and I'll show you what Slingshot mode is here in a minute, the suspension does stiffen up a bit, and you do feel those bumps a little bit more. So this thing has 2 different drive modes. Comfort mode, which we're in right now, and comfort mode is just for your casual drive around town. Everything is gradual and smooth, in the way of throttle response and things of that nature. And then you have what I'm about to do now is this button right here. You can put it in what's called slingshot mode. And so slingshot mode is for people who want to do some spirited driving. The steering and suspension gets a lot stiffer, as you can see. Throws you back in your seat a little bit. That's that 150 pound-feet of torque. You know, you do have this 7-inch screen that it's pretty nice. And this is the ride and the ride command center. So this has just some different pages that you can toggle through. This one right here is probably my favorite because you do have all of that pertinent information that you need. You got your miles to empty, which we actually need to go over here and get some fuel. You have your voltage for your battery. You have your coolant temperatures and things of that nature. Just all the telemetry that you need to get through the day. And so you switch again. You got some other different telemetries where you got the ride time, moving time, distance traveled. Then you have, of course, your map. Navigation, I always stick to my phone, so I don't know how much I would be using the navigation screen. And then you have, of course, if you're playing your Bluetooth iPhone, you can also have that as well. Now, one thing about this, it does have Apple CarPlay. I have not seen anything yet in the way of Android Auto. I haven't seen that, so I don't believe this has that. Speaking of phones, you have an area right here to keep your phone. Now, the only downside is that is not a charging mat, so you do have to be wary of that. But they do have a USB outlet that's right here that you can hook this up to and charge your phone, so you don't have to worry about that. As you can see on here, you do have this leather wrapped steering wheel. It's pretty nice. I actually like it. It's made of full grain leather. It has what they call a silver Euro trim. Alright, so we're coming here and we gotta end up getting some petrol, so you'll get to see where we put in the fuel. Alright, so right here is where the fuel goes into, and like I said, you want to use anything higher than 91. So after all we've just talked about, what is my take on the 2025 Slingshot R? One, it's a fun vehicle, fun as hell. There's not been too many vehicles out there that I've driven that I've had this much fun in. The overall layout, just the openness, and me being from San Diego, I love the sunshine. And being in something like this just allows you to be out in the elements, and that's something I can get down with. Another thing, 5-speed manual transmission, y'all. You cannot beat a manual transmission in something like this. Being able to roll through gears and being able to hear this vehicle scream, chef's kiss. So everybody, if you want to check out some more reviews, make sure you go ahead and check out some of these videos here, and we'll see you in the next video. Gone.